5 million people, the birthplace of mobile money. And safari is a day trip from Africa's tech capital. A city of 5 million people at 1,795 meters elevation with year-round spring weather. The birthplace of M-Pesa, the mobile money system that revolutionized global finance. A place where a safari is a day trip and your monthly rent is $400. This is Nairobi, Kenya, Africa's tech capital, where the monthly cost of living ranges from $600 to $1,400. That's cheaper than Cape Town, comparable to Bangkok, and a fraction of any Western city. Here's every shilling you'll spend. Here are the numbers. A single person can live comfortably in Nairobi for $900 to $1,400 per month. That covers a one-bedroom in Westlands or Kilimani, eating out regularly, Uber rides, a gym membership, and weekend excursions. On a tight budget, $600 to $800 works. A studio in South B or Langata, cooking at home with market produce, and using Matatus, the iconic minibuses. The premium version, a penthouse in Upper Hill, a car, fine dining, and regular safari getaways, runs $2,500 to $5,000. The average local take-home salary in Nairobi is about $450 per month, but the tech sector pushes that much higher. Monthly costs, excluding rent, average about $400 per person. Kenya uses the shilling at about 130 to the dollar. The currency has stabilized recently after several years of depreciation. For dollar earners, Nairobi offers a surprisingly cosmopolitan lifestyle at African prices. Housing in Nairobi ranges from modern high-rises to colonial-era houses with gardens. A one-bedroom in the city center averages $300 to $600 per month. Outside the center, that drops to $150 to $350. The neighborhoods create entirely different experiences. Westlands is the expat hub, malls, international restaurants, nightlife, and easy access to everything. $400 to $700 for a one-bedroom. This is where most newcomers start. Kilimani is the diplomatic quarter, tree-lined streets, embassies, upscale restaurants, and a cosmopolitan vibe. $350 to $600. Karen is the leafy suburb, named after Karen Blixen of Out of Africa fame. Spacious houses with gardens, horse riding, giraffe centers, and a village atmosphere. $500 to $1,200. Lavington is the quiet residential area, secure compounds, green spaces, good schools, and a family-friendly atmosphere. For $100 to $800. Upper Hill is the business district, modern high-rises, corporate offices, and newer apartment buildings. $350 to $700. South B and South C are the affordable middle-class options, decent apartments, local restaurants, and good Matata connections. $200 to $400. Kileleshwa offers a balance, modern apartments, some nightlife, walkable to Westlands. $300 to $550. And Langata, near Nairobi National Park, is for nature lovers, giraffes in your neighborhood, the David Sheldrick Elephant Orphanage nearby. $250 to $500. Most expat-grade apartments are found through agents, Property 24 Kenya, or Buy Rent Kenya. Standard leases are 12 months with 1 to 2 months deposit. Many buildings include a guard, parking, and backup generator. Nairobi's food scene is a fusion of African, Indian, and international cuisines. The staple is nyama choma, flame-grilled meat, usually goat or beef, served with ugali, maize meal, and sukuma wiki, collard greens. A full plate at a local joint costs $3 to $5. A polo, spiced rice with meat, costs $2 to $3. Mandatsi, sweet fried dough, Kenya's answer to donuts, costs 20 cents each. A chapati is 15 cents. Street food is everywhere. Roasted maize at 30 cents, samosas at 40 cents, and matura, Kenyan sausage, at 50 cents. At a mid-range restaurant, dinner for two costs $15 to $30. Fine dining. And Nairobi has serious fine dining with places like Talisman, Carnivore, and Tin Roof. Runs $40 to $80 for two. A Tusker beer, Kenya's national lager, costs $1.50 to $3 at a bar. A cappuccino at a specialty cafe is $2 to $3.50. Kenya grows some of the world's best coffee, and the specialty scene is booming. Groceries are reasonable. A dozen eggs cost $1.50 a kilogram. 2.2 pounds of chicken costs $4. A liter of milk is $1, and a kilogram of rice costs $1.20. Monthly grocery bills for one person run $100 to $200. Uber Eats and Glovo deliver from hundreds of restaurants. Nairobi is the healthcare hub of East Africa. Patients fly in from across the continent. The Aga Khan University Hospital, Nairobi Hospital, and M-Pesa Hospital offer international standard care. A general doctor visit costs $15 to $30. A specialist consultation runs $30 to $60. A full blood panel costs $20 to $40. Dental cleaning is $20 to $40. An MRI scan costs $150 to $300, a fraction of U.S. prices. Private health insurance for an expat costs $80 to $200 per month, depending on coverage level. AAR Healthcare and Jubilee Insurance are popular choices with extensive hospital networks. Kenya's pharmaceutical sector is strong. Generic medications are affordable at $5 to $15 per month for common prescriptions. Pharmacies are widespread and well-stocked. Public hospitals are overcrowded and underfunded. Stick with private facilities. The quality gap between public and private is significant. For specialized procedures, Nairobi Hospital and Aga Khan are genuinely world-class. The hidden costs that shape your real budget. First, transportation. Nairobi traffic is intense. Rush hour can double your travel time. Matatus are the cheapest option at 30 cents to 80 cents per ride, but they're chaotic. Uber and Bolt are the expat standard, $2 to $6 for most city rides. A monthly transport budget is $60 to $150. A car rental runs $500 to $800 per month. Utilities run $50 to $100 per month, electricity, water, and gas. Electricity is expensive by African standards due to limited grid capacity. Most apartments have backup generators for the occasional power outage. Internet is excellent. Kenya was an early fiber investor. Home fiber from Safaricom or Zuku costs $20 to $50 per month for 40 to 100 megabits per second. A Safaricom SIM with data costs $5 to $15 per month. M-Pesa mobile payments work everywhere, from supermarkets to street vendors. Security is a significant cost. Most expat-grade apartments include 24-hour guards, but personal safety measures add up. Some expats join a security service at $30 to $60 per month. Visa costs for work permits run $200 to $500. The digital Nomad work permit costs $250 for 12 months. A gym membership costs $30 to $60 per month. Domestic help, a housekeeper, costs $80 to $150 per month. Nairobi sits at 1,795 meters, 5,889 feet, elevation, and that altitude is the climate superpower. While equatorial cities swelter, Nairobi averages 22 to 26 degrees Celsius, 72 to 79 degrees Fahrenheit, year-round. No air conditioning needed. The long rains run March to May, and short rains October to December. Dry seasons, January to February and June to September, are perfect. Nairobi National Park is the only national park inside a major city. Lions, giraffes, and rhinos with the skyline as backdrop. It's a 20-minute drive from the CBD. Safety requires awareness. Nairobi's crime rate is elevated. Petty theft, phone snatching, and carjacking exist. But the expat areas, Westlands, Kilimani, Karen, Lavington, are well secured with guards and patrols. Common sense rules apply. Don't walk alone at night. Use Uber after dark. Keep valuables out of sight. Jomo Kenyatta International Airport is East Africa's busiest hub. Direct flights to London, Dubai, Amsterdam, and most African capitals. Domestic flights reach the coast, Mombasa, Diani, in 1 hour, and the Masai Mara in 45 minutes. Nairobi is English-speaking. It's one of Kenya's two official languages alongside Swahili. Every business, government office, and hospital operates in English. The expat community is large and diverse. UN agencies, NGOs, tech companies, and diplomatic missions create an international ecosystem. The UN office in Nairobi is one of 4 global UN headquarters. Banking is straightforward. Equity Bank and KCB serve internationals. M-Pesa is the real game changer. Send and receive money, pay bills, and shop, all from your phone. It works everywhere, including tiny roadside stalls. Co-working spaces are thriving. Nairobi Garage, iHub, Africa's first tech innovation hub, and The Alchemist offer hot desks from $100 to $200 per month. The startup ecosystem is nicknamed Silicon Savannah. Over 1,000 tech startups, major African offices of Google, Microsoft, and IBM, and one of the most active VC scenes on the continent. Kenya's digital nomad work permit launched in 2023. It costs $250 per year and requires proof of $24,000 annual remote income. It's one of Africa's most streamlined digital nomad visa programs. Kenya is East Africa's largest economy and one of the continent's fastest growing. GDP growth has averaged 5 to 6% annually. Nairobi generates about 60% of Kenya's GDP. The city is the economic engine. The tech sector is the standout. Fintech, agritech, and health tech companies attract billions in investment. M-Pesa processes over $30 billion annually, more mobile money than most countries' banking systems. Inflation has averaged 6 to 8%, higher than ideal but manageable. The shilling has stabilized around 130 to the dollar after depreciating from 110 over the past 3 years. Real estate in Nairobi has been one of the best performing asset classes in East Africa. Premium areas like Westlands and Kilimani appreciate 8 to 12% annually. Rent inflation runs 5 to 8% per year. Kenya's demographic advantage is massive, a median age of 20, one of the youngest populations on Earth. This creates a dynamic consumer market and a massive labor pool for tech companies. Nairobi's digital infrastructure is surprisingly strong. Home fiber averages 40 to 100 megabits per second. Safaricom Home Fiber and Zuku are the main providers. Mobile data on Safaricom costs $5 to $15 per month for generous data bundles. 4G coverage blankets the city, and 5G is rolling out in Westlands and the CBD. Co-working spaces are numerous. Nairobi Garage and Westlands at $150 per month. iHub and Kilimani at $100. The Alchemist with an outdoor garden workspace, and dozens of newer options. Most cafes in Westlands and Kilimani have reliable Wi-Fi. Java House, Art Caf, and Tribe Hotel are Nomad staples. The time zone is UTC+3, perfect overlap with European business hours and workable for US East Coast afternoon meetings. The Nomad community is growing but still niche compared to Southeast Asia. Weekly tech meetups, startup events, and networking nights happen across the city. For getaways, Masai Mara Safari is a 45-minute flight. Diani Beach on the coast is a 1-hour flight. Mount Kenya is 3 hours by road. Lake Naivasha is 90 minutes. And Hell's Gate National Park, the inspiration for the Lion King, is a 2-hour drive. Nairobi's lifestyle is the unexpected highlight. The city has one of the most vibrant nightlife scenes in Africa. Westlands alone has dozens of clubs, rooftop bars, and live music venues. A night out costs $15 to $35 including food and drinks. The cultural scene is thriving. Nairobi National Museum, the Kazuri Beads Factory, Go Down Arts Center, and a growing street art scene in the CBD. Nairobi National Park offers the surreal experience of watching lions and giraffes with skyscrapers in the background. A day trip at $43 park entry fee. The Giraffe Center in Langata lets you feed Rothschild giraffes face-to-face for $15. The David Sheldrick Elephant Orphanage is $5 and open daily. Fitness culture is growing. Gyms from $30 to $60 per month, running groups. Nairobi is a runner's city at altitude, and yoga studios. Weekend getaways define the lifestyle. Lake Naivasha for hippos and boat rides, 90 minutes. Hell's Gate for cycling among zebras, 2 hours. Masai Mara for the world's greatest wildlife spectacle. A weekend package from $300. Diani Beach for white sand and turquoise water. A $60 flight. The Great Rift Valley Viewpoint is a 1-hour drive. Kenya's 50-plus national parks and reserves mean every weekend can be an adventure. How does Nairobi compare? Against Cape Town, Nairobi is 20 to 30% cheaper on rent and food. Cape Town has better infrastructure and beaches. Nairobi has better internet, a stronger tech scene, and the digital nomad visa. Against Accra and Ghana, costs are similar, but Nairobi has far better internet, more co-working options, and a larger tech ecosystem. Accra has lower crime. Against Kigali in Rwanda, Nairobi is slightly more expensive, but has 10 times the amenities, nightlife, and career opportunities. Kigali is cleaner and safer. Against Bangkok, costs are surprisingly close. Bangkok has better public transport and cheaper food. Nairobi has better weather, English as a native language, and world-class wildlife access. Against Lisbon, Nairobi is 40% cheaper. Lisbon has walkability and European lifestyle. Nairobi has safari access, the digital nomad permit, and African adventure. The verdict: if you want a tech-forward, English-speaking base in Africa with world-class wildlife, Nairobi is unmatched. What's ahead for Nairobi? The Nairobi Expressway, a 27-kilometer elevated highway, has already transformed commutes from JKIA to Westlands. The Nairobi commuter rail is expanding with new stations and electric trains. These infrastructure upgrades are opening up affordable suburbs. The tech sector keeps accelerating. Kenya is attracting more VC funding than any other African nation. AI, fintech, and climate tech are the hottest sectors. Google's African AI Research Center is in Nairobi. Real estate development is booming. New apartment towers in Kilimani, Westlands, and Upper Hill are adding modern housing stock. But prices in premium areas will keep climbing 8 to 12% annually. Climate change is affecting rainfall patterns. Water rationing occurs during extended dry seasons. Most modern buildings have water storage tanks. The government is investing in desalination and dam projects. Kenya's tourism sector is recovering strongly. The Masai Mara and coastal resorts are seeing record numbers. This drives economic growth but also pushes up prices in tourist areas. Nairobi is positioning itself as the gateway to Africa, and the price of entry is rising. Move now while $900 per month still buys you a cosmopolitan African lifestyle. If this breakdown helped you plan your move to Nairobi, hit subscribe for weekly cost of living guides from cities around the world. Drop a comment telling us which city you want us to cover next. See you in the next one.